Hi, I'm Carla Buderak and welcome to Behavior Communicates. Chaining has been around for years and it's a rock-solid strategy to use when teaching something that must be done in a sequence. However, I think sometimes we forget this great tool is out there for us to use. So today, I want to either highlight chaining to remind you to use it or introduce this strategy to you if you've never seen it before. There are two kinds of chaining, forward chaining and backward chaining. The first thing you need to do is basically identify all the steps in a sequence of a skill or a task that you want your child to learn. This is called a task analysis. I often use backward chaining when I'm using a communication strategy called Picture Exchange Communication System, or PECS. So let me show you an example. So if I'm the prompter sitting behind a nonverbal child right here in front of me, and I want to teach that child how to use a sentence to request a desired object, say a truck, from the person sitting in front of the child who is basically the communication partner, these are the steps that I want my child to learn. Number one, pick up the I want card and put it on the sentence strip. Number two, pick up a picture of the desired object and put it on the sentence strip next to the I want card. Number three, pick up the sentence strip. Number four, hand the sentence strip over to the communication partner. And number five, release the sentence strip into the communication partner's hand. So I will begin by helping the child do each of those steps hand over hand several times, just like this. Once I feel that the child has experienced the sequence several times, I can begin with the backward chaining strategy. So, once again, I will do each of these steps hand over hand with the child like this. Except for the very last step, which is releasing the sentence strip into the communication partner's hand. The child does this independently, and since the child has done all of these steps several times, this very last step should be relatively easy. Once the child can do that last step, then I do everything hand over hand again except for the last two steps. So let me show you. I want the object, pick up the sentence strip, and then I back off. And the child then can hand over the object or the sentence strip to the communication partner and release it. You just continue this backward chaining sequence until the sequence is complete. Basically, you're backing off one step at a time until the child can do all the steps independently. So, what's forward chaining? Forward chaining is just the opposite process. You still do a task analysis of all the steps necessary, but this time you have the child do the steps. You have the child do the first step independently, and then you do the rest. Then the child does the first two steps, then you do the rest. The forward chaining continues until the child can do all the steps independently. You do have the option, however, of offering some interim support if needed for either forward chaining or backward chaining. For example, in forward chaining, if the child can do the first two steps but forgets the third and fourth step, you can step in and help them do that third and fourth steps, and then let the child finish the remaining steps. Give it a try. This is a great strategy to have in your toolbox, forward and backward chaining. Thank you so much for joining me here at Behavior Communicates, where I help you create a life for you and your child or your student where you both get what you really want and what you really need. If you like this video, leave a comment below and share it with all your friends on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and all your other social media. And if you haven't signed up yet for Behavior Communicates, get on over there and sign up. You'll get my weekly blog and video and other resources that I only share with my subscribers. So thank you again, and I'll see you next time.